I want to I'll speak on behalf of our coaching staff and our team. I heard someone say over 80,000. Was it over 80? Over 80,000 people on as Jerry said, a beautiful fall day here in Columbus, Ohio. But 80,000 fans, and I really appreciate that. And it was not a very pretty game or scrimmage. However, we had to get some things accomplished, some evaluation on some skilled players, and I think we did that. But I want to start out just saying thank you to them. Also, thanks to the best band in the land, just to watch them and to hang on Sloopy. It was kind of a touching moment to watch that. I've grown up watching that. And then I want to thank our players. They did a good job. They came out, competed. Not many teams nowadays can have spring games because you get so beat up. And I'm not sure what's gone on here in the past, but every year you have to make that decision to do a scrimmage and to have a scrimmage in front of a big stadium. That's not right. So for our guys to really just tough it out and go and after 14 practices come out and have a scrimmage like that. That was a good day. Like I said, it wasn't very pretty at times. We did some things offensively that is not who we are. However, I wanted to get something done. We're going to be a very balanced offense. That was very imbalanced. However, that was done for a reason. You're taking one of the worst passing teams in America a year ago, and we got to find out if we can do that. Obviously, if you can't be balanced, you won't win. I mean, you can stop the run game, and people have just shown that. We know we can run the quarterback. We didn't run him one time today. What we don't know, and unfortunately, even after this spring game, I still don't know, can we throw the ball? And that was an objective today. I have a better opinion of some guys now. And just as many reps, throwing a football is like anything. It's as often as you can throw it, you can get better and better and better because you teach off of videotape. And to do that today, that was the purpose of what we did. So with that said, I'll answer any questions.
Doug, go ahead.
Urban, everyone's talked about playmakers all spring. Michael Thomas, I think 12 catches today. What did he show you, and what other guys showed up for you?
He started, it's hard for me to say. Right now, him and Philly are kind of separate. They're kind of our top two guys, and Devin's probably third. Jake Stoneburner would be right up there at the top as well. So I would say right now you have Jake. Well, here, let me give you, in my opinion, after spring ball, I'm going to post a depth chart probably in about, give me a week to settle down. We meet with our players, but I'll post it the following week. But I'd have to say right now our playmakers on offense, the top five in order would be, in order probably would be Jordan Hall, would be Jake Stoneburner, would be probably Carlos, and then you would say Philly Brown, Michael Thomas, and Devin Smith would be, I think I got them all. And then the others, you got Nick Vanette right there, you got Hireman right there, you got some other players that are close, but those are the guys, and obviously we need more.
Urban, Jordan Hall didn't play. I didn't see Hankins. Simon was very limited.
Here we go. Simon didn't play because he didn't need to play. Jordan Hall had a sprained foot that we just found out yesterday. He was going to play, but he wasn't going to play much. Corey Lindsley only played first quarter on purpose. We have no depth or very minimal depth in our offensive line. Jack Muhort only played the first quarter. And then we did have Curtis Grant. We had some guys like he had a pinched nerve. Hankins had bursa. I think he got scoped yesterday. I think he got, but he's going to be fine. It's just a bursa issue in his knee.
And your first time in a long time, at least here in the shoe, what did it feel like for you?
Well, it felt great. It felt great coming down there, and I asked I told our players, don't ever not appreciate a group of people coming out watch you play, especially on a 45-degree rainy day. But then also you have guys like Mike Vrabel and Luke and Hewlin-Ake and Kirk Barton. This is their, they played. They're the guys that made the stadium what it is, and former players. I said just make sure you appreciate where you're at.
Brandon.
Coach, over here, you said that you weren't. You said that you still weren't sure about whether how you guys are going to be able to pass the ball. Can you kind of assess Braxton today and just through the spring what you thought of him as a passer?
Well, he can pass the ball. Accuracy, there's a way you evaluate it. Release, I give him an A. Very good release. Arm strength, I'm probably going to say a B, but I'm very critical. Accuracy, a C to B. We got to get him more accurate, but he's getting better. I mean, he had a very good spring, very productive spring. And once again, we grade our guys real hard. I've coached some first rounders, so that's how I evaluate them, comparing them with first rounders. And he's got a lot of talent. Kenny Guyton is a much improved player. His arm strength is there. He doesn't let it go. for some reason. His accuracy is not bad, but he doesn't let it go. And so we have to figure out why, and that's what I was talking to him on. If he threw a pick today, and if he lets it go, it wouldn't have been a pick. So, but those two guys had very good sprains.
Over here, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, talk a little bit more about Michael Thomas, though. Did you see this from the beginning in the spring? Did he come along as it went? And, he had 12 catches today, which is too short of the team high last year for a whole season.
He had, about the first scrimmage, he kind of did. He started, he goes, unfortunately, he's going the wrong direction at times still. But he's a very talented. You think he still should be getting ready for his high school prom and graduation and all that. So he's Keyshawn Johnson's cousin. He's a kid that is nonstop working on. We have a jug machine set over there that they go on their own. And I was told that because he asked me about if it's open. I always say, yeah, it's open all the time. And he's working on the jugs machine nonstop. He's our most dedicated receiver right now, and he's a true freshman. So I'm not surprised he had that kind of day today.
Bo. Urban, did you feel, right here in front, did you feel like you got accomplished what you wanted to get accomplished this spring?
Boy, that's so open. Yes, but, we got so much, yeah, we identified our issues, and we also identified our strengths. And so I just told him it has to be the best offseason in the history of college football. That has to happen. And it starts Monday. Well, I handcuffed Luke. John Simon did not play. Our linebackers are just banged up. Curtis Grant, Shazier did play, and Savino did play. We didn't blitz much. They blitzed a little bit, got a few sacks, and I asked them to just because we had some guys in there playing offensive line that usually don't play. And I handcuffed them a little bit. But our defense I'd expect our defense to get very close to Ohio State standards here real soon.
Kenny Rhoda.
Coach, to your right, back here. What was the one thing you wanted to see the most out of this scrimmage today?
Today I wanted to see someone reach up and make a play like a Michael Thomas, like Braxton Miller, and just force him to throw the ball. If you notice, we were running out the clock, and also on fourth down on our own, 20-yard line, we went for it. That probably won't happen next year. So in case the fans go, what's that nut job doing? The nut job is just trying to see who can identify a playmaker. And I called them together and said, it's 3rd down and 1, and we ran a sprint out pass. Most of the time, you're just going to pound it and try to get a first down. But I wanted to see Braxton Miller make a play. I want to see Nick Vanette make a play. And some guys did, some guys didn't.
Doug.
Urban over here to your right. Urban. Wanted to see if you had like a pecking order, maybe a running back. And also, it seems like you're going to carry on that tradition of the alma mater with the players. Why so?
First one, pecking order running back will be Jordan Hall, Carlos Hyde, Rod Smith, and Briante Dunn. Obviously, Jordan Hall gives us some flexibility. I can see him moving out and playing some H as well. He's the number one choice candidate to fill that hybrid position that everybody said Percy Harvin made famous, which Percy Harvin did make it famous. So he's the first guy that he's going to be able to do that. I know he will after what we did last week in spring. And Carlos Hyde has had a good spring as well. Why did we? I'm a big fan of tradition, and this is the school that you don't have to create a whole lot of tradition, and we're honored to be able to keep the tradition. I believe Coach Tressel started that, and our guys loved it. I asked them, Kirk Barton, I said, now where do I go? What do I do? And he said, you park it right here and look at the scoreboard, and so it's great.
Couple more questions. Dave?
Urban over here, another non-game question, but your circle drill that you had beforehand, I think you really raised some eyebrows there when you put your 2 quarterbacks in the circle. Your motivation behind that, I know we've seen that in practice as well. What are you going after there?
Just intensity. I just want, we put Simon in there and all that. I blow a quick whistle when some of those guys are in there. And I just wanted some good energy in there, and I want our quarterbacks, like anybody else now, they got to go put their nose on people, and you got to be very careful and very smart, and sometimes I'm accused of neither. But I think that was fun for the fans. I know what our players came out of their shoes when we did that. That was the first time we did that.
Brandon.
Coach.
Do you have a water?
Coach, I think you said yesterday that you thought the offensive line was the most improved group this spring. Can you talk about that a little bit, where they were kind of at the beginning and what you saw from them kind of progressing throughout the spring?
Well, you lost 3 starters. 3 guys are going to National Football League players. 1 potential first rounder, a center that played a bunch of games and was a very good player, and the right tackle. And that was off a group that was not very productive a year ago. So that kind of tells you where we're at. I had 3 or 4 miss my first team meeting, and unfortunately had a couple miss the second team meeting. They're the ones that led to the 5 a.m. for a whole week because for some reason we couldn't get the meetings on time. I'm proud to say they don't miss meetings anymore, and they've really done a good job. Their bodies are changing a little bit. Their attitudes are changing. Jack Newhart leads the crew. But Corey Lindsley right now, Corey's a fine player. He's the first one to tell you he wasn't a fine player a year ago. His complete commitment to Ohio State wasn't there. It is now, and I'm real impressed with him. Marcus Hall's another guy that really has come a long way. I really like him right now. So there's a unit being developed there.
Last question, Obi, back here.
Coach, I know spring ball encompasses more than just this game, but was there a moment or is there a play that you can reflect on that you looked at the guys and said, these boys are starting to get it?
Today,
or even in practice?
I don't know if there's a moment. I wish I could. I mean, if you gave me a few minutes to think about it, I might. I didn't really see that today, or I'd tell you. What I did see is guys out there competing.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.